Hey everyone, this is Lisa. Thanks for joining me today. I have something a little bit different than usual. Today I'm going to attempt to do some envelope art using the Make a Difference stamp set. Now this is a new stamp set in this year's catalog, and hand lettering is so on trend right now and I can't do it. So when I saw this stamp set, I was super excited. So I'm just using a regular A2 envelope. This one happens to be very vanilla. This is the stamp set. It has script lettering, it has lowercase script, block letters, numbers, some cool phrases for your cards, your envelopes, the back of your cards. It's kind of all-inclusive. It's a really great set and it's really inexpensive for all that you get. So the first thing I'm going to do is make some lines because I can't stamp straight without lines. So I'm starting at the 2-inch mark. And I'm going to be making tick marks every ½ inch all the way down until I have 5 of them. And then I'm going to flip my ruler around to the other end of the envelope. And beginning with the tick mark, I'm going to draw my line to the 2-inch mark. Now I'm using a very light hand here because I want to be able to erase these lines and I don't want to push hard and indent my paper or not be able to completely erase them. So I'm just drawing my lines, and in a minute I'm going to flip this around, and if you feel like you need a center point, mine was at 6 5/8, I believe. But that sort of depends on where you start your tick marks. So I think mine was like a 1/4 inch away from the edge. Okay, so now that we have our lines, I know they're very faint, but there they are. Hopefully you can see those. We're getting ready to stamp. Now I'm going to be using Memento ink because I know that once it's dry, it's waterproof. So I'm going to be trying some different things. I'm going to be using our other stamp colors, dye inks, and I'm going to mail it to myself to see what happens. We use ballpoint pens to address stuff and it seems to go through the mail just fine, but I want to check it out before I tell you for sure that it's okay. So the key to using the script letters is to hand stamp them and stamp them closer to each other than what you think. The script letters don't work in the Stamparatus because you can't get them close enough together. However, the block letters will work in the Stamparatus if you want to do that, but I found it easier just to put them on my acrylic block and stamp them. So I'm spelling out Stella, and the stamp set also comes with double letters, like double L's and double T's and double S's, things that you would normally, or commonly put together, and that is super convenient. How many of you guys remember Stella Stamper? Boy, that's from way back. It was a cute little stamp set that had this lady and she had all these stamp things coming out of her apron. So I'm beginning to use the block letters for the address. I think it looks really cool when you mix the fonts. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the address in the block letters. Now this is a completely made up address. This isn't anybody's. I completely just pulled it out of the air. And to be honest with you, I made a mistake when I was stamping the address and I misspelled spruce, so I had to start over. So you'll notice that the house number is different there, but spruce is spelled correctly. So on the next line, I'm going to put the town and the state, which is need more stamps. And I'm spacing out the zip code because I think that looks kind of fun. And I'm going to be putting some little black dots in between it. It is art, right? So do what you want. And I'm using the script letters to do, the script numbers to do the zip code. And here you can see me putting the little black lines in there. This is a really fun project. There is a bit of a learning curve, but it is so fun. And look how cool the envelope looks. Now, in the stamp set, there's also some pretty flowers too that you can use. I'm heat setting the ink just to be sure that it's dry before I begin to erase. I do recommend using a white eraser and use a light hand when you are erasing your lines. And see, it erases just fine, and you can't even tell that there were any lines there. So I'm going to be doing some coloring with my blends. So I'm going to put this scrap piece of cardstock inside because I don't want the ink to bleed through to the back of the envelope. And as I mentioned, there's some really pretty flowers in this stamp set. So I'm going to stamp them down at the bottom. And I have to disclose that the post office isn't very happy when you stamp things down at the bottom. So you may need to put a non-machinable stamp on this. Just ask your post office and they'll tell you what you should do. But this is so pretty. I think it's worth the extra postage. So you notice at the top I stamped deliver to. That's one of those cute phrases that is in the stamp set. I'm using Old Olive to color the leaves here. And I'll also be using the light and dark cherry cobbler for the flowers. This was really a lot of fun. Like I said, it is a learning curve, but you know, I just can think of hundreds of projects that you can use this for. I'm thinking gift tags at Christmas and all of that. Oh, that would be great, right? So here's our envelope. Well, I have to pull out that scrap piece first. And I would put my return address on the back just because there's not a lot of room up in that left-hand corner. And so there we have it. Our little experiment for today with the envelope art. Thanks for hanging out with me and going through the process. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy crafting. See you soon. Bye.